And welcome everybody to Piscataway High School. Mark Priel along with Steve Caulfield. Glad to have you aboard this evening. Piscataway versus St. Patrick's, and the Chiefs number 6 in the state. They are 14-0 overall, 11-0 in the red division in the GMC. St. Patrick's, Steve, last year in the Mountain Valley Conference. This year independent. They are 12-4 on the season, and with the state playoffs coming up, Steve, this is pretty much bragging rights for the state to see who are some of the better teams in this area.
This is a big tune-up for both teams. St. Patrick's has played a much tougher schedule throughout the season than Piscataway, but for Piscataway, this is kind of a measuring stick. They've pretty much blown through the GMC aside from a tough game with East Brunswick a couple of weeks ago. So this is going to be a tough game for them. This is by far the best team they've played, but it's also the type of team that they're going to play in the state tournament, so they have to get used to this level of play.
Of course, you talk about St. Patrick's. Shaheen Holloway, the first name to come at you. Recruited by almost every school in the country, Division I colleges. What can we expect from him this evening?
He's regarded as the top junior guard in the country. He's averaging 23 points a game, an excellent player. I mean, he's the type of guy who can really change a game, but he's going against two very talented guards in John Selestand, who's going to Villanova, and 6'1" senior Justin Bailey, who will be heading to Hartford. So the matchup of the guards is the intriguing position up front, is where both teams are going to have to get things done. Both teams grind it out on the front line. They both have some talented forwards. For St. Patrick's, you have Rudy Benson, who's working himself into shape. He's headed to Old Dominion. And then you have Winston Smith, who's one of the top juniors in the state. He plays a guard forward. He's 6'5", a very good player as well. For Piscataway, you have guys like Kevin Mandel, who's a returning senior from that team last year that went to the TFC semifinals, and Greg Gilmore, who's a senior who didn't get to play a lot last year, but he's come out and he's averaged in double figures over the last 6 or 7 games. So both teams are loaded. Both teams have pretty decent depth. St. Patrick's a little bit light on the depth, and that's where Piscataway is going to try to test them, because Piscataway can go about 8 or 9 deep. They're going to try to press. They're going to play hard defense as they always do, and try to get some of the starters in foul trouble, and then the game could be tough for St. Patrick's.
Of course, you talk about Piscataway. The first name that would come to mind at the beginning of the season is John Selestand. But look at Justin Bailey. He's the leading scorer at 15.6 points per game. And Celestand, he's come on as late. He had the ankle problem earlier in the season, but they're starting to just come together for the Chiefs.
Yeah, John's been a little beat up throughout the whole season. He's had a couple of bouts with the flu, so he really hasn't played, even 10 games in a row without getting sick. So he really has to start getting himself together now and kind of peaking at the right time and moving toward that peak as he moves towards the GMC tournament and the state tournament, because obviously without John Selestand, this team doesn't have a chance to reach the level they did last year, which was Group 4 state champion and, as I said, the Tournament of Champions semifinals. So they really need him to get healthy, but you have to give credit to Bailey, because Bailey, not that he's coming from out of nowhere, but Bailey was a role player for most of last year, scored an awful lot to win all those tournaments last year, and he's really just carried it over into this season. He's had a great season. He's been consistent, hasn't really had too many games, even in the lower double digits. Most of his games have been 15 to 18 points. You know you're going to get it from him. You have to give credit to the guy. He's had a great season.
And it should be a great game as well. Looking forward to it. Piscataway and St. Patrick's, an interstate rivalry here, I guess, is developing here. St. Patrick's, they played a lot of their games both this year and last year out of the state. So it's a chance for them to try to showcase some of their talents inside the state against one of the teams, Middlesex County's better teams.
I mean, it's hard to say that St. Pat's is an unknown entity within the state, but they kind of are. They play a lot of their home games, obviously, in Elizabeth, because that's where they're from. So they do play in the state, but they don't play a lot of teams from New Jersey. This is one of, I think, 3 games the entire year that they're going to play against teams from New Jersey. Then they're going to be tested. You're going to find out how good they are within Union County when they play in the Union County tournament in a couple of weeks. So this is for bragging rights within the state, because they've gone out and they've proved against the best teams in the country that they can play with those teams. They lost recently over the weekend to Oak Hill. Oak Hill is essentially a small university, because it's a prep school down in Virginia, has great talent. They have usually 5 to 7 Division I players on the team. They were leading that team going into the fourth quarter, but that was on Saturday. They lost the game 65 to 60, so that's a factor a little bit too. This team is coming back off a long road trip from Virginia, so they could be a little fatigued coming into tonight's game.
Now, what would some of the strategies be from the Piscataway point of view? What do they want to do as far as this game is concerned? Will they want to run, or they want to push the ball, or slow it down?
I think Piscataway is going to play a controlled game because that's always what they play. They run when they have the opportunity. They're not going to go out of control and try to run at all costs. You really don't want to run against St. Patrick's. What you want to do is try to play good defense. As I said, the big thing against St. Patrick's, if you can get them in foul trouble, the depth is really thin right now for St. Patrick's. Piscataway is going to do what they always do, and that's play great defense. They're one of the best defensive teams in the state, and that's how, honestly, with probably less talent and less size than a lot of teams last year, they made it to the TFC semifinals. On the other side for St. Patrick's, what Piscataway has to deal with against St. Patrick's is the Celtics like to trap a lot in the half court. They trap all over the place, and against lesser teams, which they've played a couple of teams throughout the year where they've beaten them by 40 points. In a half court trap, if you don't know how to handle it, and if you panic, you're dead, and the score can go up to 20, 30 points in a matter of minutes, and that's what happened against a couple of teams, even some of the out-of-state teams that were very good teams, and they wound up beating those teams by 15 or 20 points. So Piscataway has to find a way to beat that half-court trapping, and they should be able to, because it's going to be tough for St. Patrick's to trap in the half court against two tall guards like John Selestand and Bailey. And not only are they tall, but I mean, they're Division I guards. They're great guards, so they're not going to get in trouble. I think what St. Patrick's wants to do is get the ball out of the hands of Bailey and Celestand, make someone else do something with it, because some of the other guys are a little unproven. Gilmore, Mandel, and Darrell Claps, and also Justin Strauss, McMillan. They can all score, but let's see if they can score against a team the quality of St. Patrick's. That's a little different level than playing a Woodbridge or an Old Bridge. Those are good teams, but St. Patrick's, as a lot of coaches know, is a national level team. I mean, this is the top of the line team in the country. They're 16th rated in the country, which kind of makes you wonder. They're 6th in the state, and yet they're 16th in the country, which I don't think a lot of people in the state know how good they are. That's the problem at this point. And I think tonight we're going to see how good they are. It'll be interesting.
Now, of course, we saw them lose all those games last year, and even though they might have been one of the better teams in the state, I think they had like 7 or 8 losses.
Yeah, that was great last year. It was a scenario where you have to have a 500 record by February 1st.
Right.
And St. Patrick's is struggling to get a 500 record. And, most people knew if St. Patrick's is playing in the Mountain Valley, they didn't play in it last year, they played in it the year before. If they're playing in that the entire season, I mean, there's no problem. They're going to be 15-1. But what Kevin Boy wants to do, his ultimate goal is to be a national champion, a TFC champion. He wants, the highest goals possible. And the way to do that is to go out and play the best competition. And last year, not that they went in over their heads, but they played an unbelievable schedule, and they lost a lot of close games against teams like Simon Gratz and teams of that quality. I mean, they played a national level schedule as they did this year. The difference this year is they've beaten a lot of these national teams, which is quite impressive. They only have 4 losses on the year, and all four losses are out of state. So, and nothing to be embarrassed about either. As I said, Oak Hill is an unbelievable team. They lost to Lincoln, the #1 team in New York City, with Stephon Marbury, who's going to Georgia Tech. So they've lost to some great teams. So it should be interesting, as I said.
Well, something has got to give. Piscataway only allowing 47 points a game. And, of course, St. Patrick certainly can light it up. And welcome back to Piscataway High School. Mark Prelo and Steve Cofield along with you to bring you Piscataway High School basketball. And we are moments away from tip-off. We will give you the starting lineups. And first off with Piscataway, the guards here is number 12, Shaheen Holloway. As we told you about, he is a junior and one of the most highly touted players, not only in New Jersey, but also in the entire country. The other guard, number 15, Winston Smith. He is a senior. The forwards, Tavon Judson and Roddy Benson. And at the other forward/center spot is Kevin Pleasant. As you hear the introduction and the applause for the Piscataway Chiefs. At guard, Villanova-bound John Selestand. The other guard, his partner in the backcourt, is Justin Bailey. He leads the Chiefs in scoring 15.6 points per game. It's Delvon McMillan at 1 forward, Greg Gilmore, and Kevin Mandel is the center. And we are about set to go.
If you've ever seen me referee, you know you don't have to tell me that. Come see me.
Piscataway undefeated in the red GMC conference, and of course 14 overall, undefeated for the season as well. And this is without question their biggest battle or test of the season.
Let me tell you, for people in attendance or watching the game on TV, if you haven't seen Shaheen Holloway play, this guy is one of the most unbelievable guards I've ever seen play. And not that I'm an old guy, but I've seen a lot of high school basketball over the last 10 years or so. And he's one of the best I've seen come along. He's unbelievable. And the great thing about him now is his strength when he first started out. He's only a junior. When he first started playing as a freshman and sophomore, great penetrator, great passer, not an unbelievable outside shooter, but now he's got the outside shooting to go along with it. So as a defensive player in a one-on-one situation, it's kind of tough. You don't know to play up against him and he'll drive by, or you play off him a little bit and he can stick the jumper right in your face.
And the ball went by Piscataway. This is Holloway, the point guard. Out in front of the Piscataway bench, going inside for Judson. The jumper is in and out. The rebound down by Smith. And we have a whistle right away. And will be a foul on Piscataway. First team foul. See who it's on.
It was on Kevin Mandel.
All right, his first personal foul. And this is Kevin Pleasant to inbound under the baseline. He gets Nickerson out to Smith. As a move on Gilmore, lost it, got it back. And he cannot find the handle. It will be Piscataway ball.
Yeah, you can see Piscataway in the man-to-man there. Gilmore against Winston Smith, and he did a good job of stripping the ball and knocking off Smith's leg.
And that's Bailey getting it into McMillan. They break the press. Bailey all the way. In and out, the tip, no. And Celestand gets it back. Celestand trying to work on Pleasant. He gets over to Bailey, now McMillan. Top of the key, working on Smith. Holloway right there for Bailey.
You see the one-on-one matchup in the man-to-man. It's Kevin Pleasant against Celestand. And like I said, you want to take it right at St. Patrick's early in the game, try to get him in foul trouble, because they are only going to have two men coming off the bench who are the level of Piscataway. So you want to get Pleasant in some foul trouble, and it's going to be a tough man to cover, Celestand against Pleasant.
And that foul is on Pleasant, his first. We're just underway here in Piscataway. St. Patrick's and Piscataway. St. Patrick's number 7 in the state, Piscataway number 6. Celestand looking for the shot. He lost the handle. And Patrick throws it right back away. McMillan comes up with it. So early jitters going on here this first quarter. We played 1 minute and 20 seconds. Here's Celestand for 3. Got it. Celestand gets the Chiefs on the board. 3-0 Piscataway. Here's Holloway right back at him for the 3.
So that's what I'm talking about, Mark, right there. You back off him a little bit, and he can stick to 3 now. He's a total package as a player.
Chiefs break the press. Mandel gets it back out for Bailey. Celestand trapped in the corner. They have numbers. Here's Bailey rejected by Judson, and the save over to Nickerson. And here is Smith. And he'll bring it out.
Hey, you notice Nickerson in the starting lineup instead of Radee Benson. Benson, the Division I player, coming off the bench for this team.
Holloway, the spin, the jumper for 3 is good. Number 20, Corbett Nickerson. He hits the 3, and it's 6-3 Chiefs. Celestand back the other way for 2. And things are heating up early on here in Piscataway. 6-5. We played 2.5 here in Piscataway. Smith, the turnaround jumper, no go. And this is Bailey with the rebound, the push ahead to Gilmore, the 3 on the way, air ball, hit the glass. Fumble for the rebound, taken away by Nickerson. And here is Holloway going for the spin on Celestand, and we have a whistle. That will be personal foul number 1 on John Selestand.
You know, coming in this game, Mark, St. Patrick's wants to send a message, because they never got a chance to advance real far in a state tournament because they're in the toughest bracket. parochial B North. They lost to the eventual runner-up, Patterson Catholic, by 1 point on a late shot. So this team could have been there, but they didn't make it.
Here's Holloway with the spin and the basket. Oh my, what a move by Holloway. His first bucket, rather second bucket. And he has 5. It is 8-5 St. Patrick's. Celestand looking for McMillan. Over to Gilmore, the swing for Bailey. Having trouble with it. Here's Smith on the break over to Holloway. And he'll lay it in. We have a whistle for goaltending. It'll count anyway. So Shaheen Holloway off to the fast start. He has 7. And it is 10-5 Piscataway. We have 4:35 remaining here in the first quarter. And once again, St. Patrick showing that press.
They pull it off now. They're just going to go into the full court man-to-man.
And here's Celestand, the jumper, short. The rebound, McMillan having trouble with it, and he lost it to Holloway. Here's Smith ahead. He'll hold it up for the 3. Now it's Nickerson, no good. And Chicks want to talk it over. With 4:01 here in the first quarter, it is 10-5 St. Patrick's over Piscataway, and we see the pace not going to the liking of Paul Show.
Right, it is a little bit of an up-tempo, and you can see, you know, how enjoyable the crowd gets into watching Shaheen Holloway. He's a spectacular player, makes really great moves, and can finish, and a great passer. And early on here, their defense, their man-to-man, giving a little trouble to Piscataway. Piscataway having trouble running their offense, and you know, they're going to need all 5 players on the floor to contribute. You know, especially McMillan and Gilmore. McMillan has got to stick some outside jumpers, you know, to open things up for Bailey and Celestand a bit, and Mandel has got to show some force inside, do some work on the offensive boards, and also Gilmore along the same lines. Gilmore, an offensive rebounder. They have to hold their own inside.
And I tell you, I was talking to Coach Boyle before the game. He's saying Kentucky, one of the schools that Shaheen might be interested in. And see a little of that, getting him ready for that press right away, as we saw St. Patrick's go to the full court press.
And that's what Shaheen has talked about in the whole recruiting process, that he definitely has to go somewhere that plays up-tempo ball. And I think he was interested in Georgia Tech, but since Stephon Marbury's going there, they kind of got crossed off the list. Not that I would take Stephon Marbury as well as Holloway, so they didn't really lose out in that deal.
All right, back to action. Piscataway trouble with it once again. That's turnover number 4. Here's Smith on the pull-up jumper, got it to go. That time it was looking for the alley-oop to Judson, but decided to let it go, and he hit it. That's his first bucket. It is 12-5 Piscataway. That cheeks right back at him. Bailey with the runner, no good. The save by Gilmore. McMillan having trouble with it. Gilmore got it back, and he laid it in. That's 2 for Gilmore, his first 2. 12-7 St. Patrick's. Holloway back the other way off the glass. It's no good. And the rebound, Celestand. Fake the jumper. Over to McMillan off the glass. He got it to go. That's McMillan's first bucket. He has 2, and it's 12-9.
Kevin Boyle riding the refs a bit for that last basket by Gilmore 2 baskets ago. Looked like he came up off the floor and traveled.
Smith looking inside. It's poked away, and here's Bailey. Chiefs now looking to slow it up, trying to get a good shot. This is Gilmore.
You see Holloway matched up man-to-man against Celestand.
And Celestand that time with an NBA 3. And Holloway's back the other way. A little shake and bake. The jumper for Judson. No good. And St. Patrick's will keep it. And we have a traveling call right there on Kevin Pleasant. As we saw that time, Shaheen really had the shot if he wanted to take it. I guess he wanted to work the offense and get a good shot.
I'll try to get something closer to the basket, but you see Benson coming out to the floor now, Mark. Benson, 6'5½", senior. Had a great year last year, but has been suffering from a little weight he gained over the summer. He put on about 25 pounds, and anyone who saw him last year probably wouldn't believe it's the same guy. He's put on an awful lot of weight, and he's kind of a different player now than he was last year.
And here is Mandel with the jumper. And Piscataway now within 1. They have gone on a 6-0 run since the timeout.
Piscataway brings in a sub as well, and that's number 32, Darrell Claps. He's a 5'10" junior, and he's going to be matched up against Holloway.
And this is Benson having trouble with it.
See, the problem with Benson now is with the added weight that he's put on. He was really wiry last year and kind of a jumping jack who went up and grabbed a lot of offensive rebounds and a lot of putbacks off the glass, and he's just lost a lot of that spring in his step and has become a different player.
And that is Benson, as you alluded to right there with the rock. Goes to Holloway. Ways off the screen, trying to work on Claps. The spin, the shake, the dish, and it's stolen away by, that is Celestand with it. And we'll see how effective Piscataway can go inside with Kevin Mandel with Benson in there.
And once again, you see Nickerson now.
Claps the three, got it. Darrell Claps hits the three. And Piscataway takes his first lead of the game. It is 14-12. The Chiefs on a 9-0 run since the timeout at 2:35 here in this first quarter.
Darrell Claps has been playing real well as of late. He's a guy who can shoot the ball. He's ultra quick. He just has to show confidence and do the things that he is capable of doing out on the floor.
And we see the hustle by Claps.
It's an early substitution, Mark. Interesting. Chad Miller onto the floor, and he hasn't seen an awful lot of playing time this year.
Winston having trouble with it. And here is Holloway. Working on Claps, a little shake and fake. Takes him in the lane. Jumper, no good. Too hard, and the rebound ahead. Here is McMillan, the three, no go. Winston Smith comes away with it, and here is Holloway. Shakes and fakes, whistle on the call, and we have a blocking foul. That'll be on Darrell Claps. His first 14 foul for Piscataway.
Actually, that's my fault. Number 42 is Rocco Matriasciano, one of the backup big men for Paul Shove's squad. Has seen limited action.
And we have substitutions for Piscataway. As number 20, Corbir Nickerson will sit down, as does Kevin Pleasant.
St. Patrick goes to the benchmark with Theo Tardo, number 14, a junior guard.
And here is Smith trying to work on Bowen. And we have a whistle.
Be a shooting foul as Smith will head to the line for 2 shots, and that's a tough matchup. Smith is 6'5", and so is Matriasciano, but it's a different sort of 6'5" player. Smith is really a true guard, while Rocco is an inside player.
McMillan sits down for Piscataway. As Winston Smith is at the line, first shot is up, and it is good. Second shot in the way, good again. We're tied at 14, 3 seconds before the quarter. And Celestand with the fling, no go. And that is the end of quarter number 1. Piscataway and St. Patrick's tied up at 14. High man for Holloway, and rather a high man for St. Patrick's is Shaheen Holloway. He has 7. And we'll try to get the high score for Piscataway in just a moment. But in the meantime, we'd like to remind you that tonight's production of Piscataway High School basketball has been provided by sponsorship from McDonald's of Piscataway. That's 1301 Stelton Avenue in Piscataway. We'd like to thank them for allowing us to bring you this game into your living room set this evening.
Leading scorer thus far for Piscataway, Mark, is John Selestand. Been a balanced attack. Claps with that 3, and Mandel, McMillan, and Gilmore all have 3 points as well. I'll tell you, this is the beginning of just a great month or so, or month and a half of basketball, and this week really starts to kick it off with this game, and then you have some other great games throughout the state. You have some tournaments this weekend. You have the primetime shootout where New Brunswick team St. Peter's is heading down to McCorston. That's an 8-team tournament. St. Patrick's is in that tournament as well, so you could have another team from the GMC and St. Peter's potentially playing St. Patrick's on Friday night. If St. Peter's could get through Plainfield, who's 8-9, St. Patrick's and St. Peter's will play on Friday night. And I'll tell you about the other tournaments that are coming up this week as well in a couple minutes.
All right, looking forward to it. Piscataway tries to get it inside.
Yeah, you see them try to throw inside to Rashad Bowen. And Bowen, a bit of a project, a true 6'7", 6'8 and a half, or 6'7 and a half, 6'8", but a raw talent. Probably has his best basketball ahead of him.
And here is Holloway to bring it up the three. He lets it go, and he got it to go. That's his second three for Holloway. He now has 10 points on the evening, and it's 17-14 Piscataway, rather St. Patrick's. Celestand on the jumper is rejected by Judson. And Piscataway will keep it 7:29 here, second quarter. Inbound to Celestand, hits the jumper on the baseline. That's his 7-point. Right back at you. Winston Smith off the glass. 5 points for Winston Smith. It is 19-16 St. Patrick's. I tell you, Steve, this pace here just picking up as we go along. Chiefs go inside once again, trying to get it to Matriciano.
See Piscataway trying to go with the bigger lineup here. Goes 6'7" and 6'6" up front, and then go with the 3 quick guards. Give Mandel a little blow and Gilmore. And that's the luxury Paul Shope has. He can go very deep on his bench.
Patrick's having trouble with it. It is knocked out of bounds by the Chiefs.
So you got to watch that matchup with Winston Smith against Matriciano.
And this is Trito Tato, number 14, inbound for Patrick's. They go inside for Benson, and he just muscles his way in. As you called it, Steve, he went right inside.
See once again into that full court press.
And Chiefs break that press. This is Bailey on the outside. Now to Claps. Drives the lane, the dish, and the lay-in to Matriciano. Great look by Claps.
See Shaheen Holloway talking a little trash with Claps, but he's going to get the charge.
And Claps coming back the other way on the defensive end. And he draws the charge.
I'll tell you, Claps is a real player of the future for Piscataway. The Chiefs program is so deep now that you have juniors who at most schools would be stars in their junior season really have to sit in the reserve role until their chance as a senior. Next year, Claps is going to be one of the leaders of this team. He's going to be a great player next year.
And that personal foul, by the way, was on Shaheen Holloway. His first personal foul back the other way. This is Devon McMillan, his second bucket.
See, and you see Celestand put it into a different gear on that play.
And Holloway with the 3 the other way, no good, but the rebound and followed up by Pleasant. The jumper missed it. Winston Smith puts it back, no good. Ball loose, and the Chiefs come up with it. Piscataway has numbers. Here's Bailey at the key, takes it in. Off the glass, no good. McMillan back with the left, no good. The tap in. And that time it was tapped in. They're going to give the basket to, I believe, Bailey, but it looks like Kevin Pleasant had his hand on it. So a little break there for Piscataway. 22-21, Chiefs on top, 5:20 remaining here in the second quarter. And the steal that time by Gilmore. Chiefs get it right back. Rather, St. Patrick's, and the drive that time by Kevin Pleasant. And he's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. We check the foul.
See Nickerson check back in for St. Patrick's, and you know Boyle's got to try to find a time that he can rest his players. I mean, they're used to going the length of the game, but against Piscataway, the kind of defense Piscataway plays against you, there's going to be a fatigue factor come the end of the game. St. Patrick's will be tired.
Yeah, Piscataway St. Patrick's both exerting a lot of energy out there with the presses. As the first free throw by Pleasant is good. We are tied at 22. 5:09 here. Quarter number 2. Second shot good again. It is 23-22. St. Patrick's. And showing no mercy with that press. This time they lay off. Celestand trying to put a move on Pleasant. This double team, they're kicking out. Here is Gilmore, the jumper, no. The rebound, McMillan rejected by Smith. Now we have a foul. And it will go on Winston Smith.
I think Smith came down with the arm and the follow-through on the block.
So,
See, and that's not really Greg Gilmore's shot. That's an ill-advised shot from the elbow. He's the guy who's going to do most of his work in the lane. And there was an opportunity to move the ball to the left. He had 2 open players on the left. Piscataway's got to be a little more patient because you can't have the ball once it leaves Celestand's hand.
We see the air ball that time by
which is odd. Because McMillan is, well, you might not believe it after that shot, but he really is a pure shooter.
I guess the St. Patrick's press is working. Tired at the line, perhaps?
Kind of early to be that tired, though. And now you see him compensating a bit and throwing that free throw a bit long.
So McMillan goes 0 for 2 at the line. Holloway, the 3. Got it again. My goodness.
See, and that's what I'm talking about, Mark. You have to respect his quickness because he'll blow by you. And then he pulls up and nails the 3.
And that his third three-pointer as Piscataway having trouble at midcourt. And St. Patrick's, they force another turnover.
See Selestand, a little ill-advised ball handling there. Tried to break through a double team, and not really the smartest thing to do. And you saw Holloway's hand slip in there and strip the ball. And
Shaheen Holloway, the high man for both squads. He has 13 points, including 3 three-pointers. This is Smith at the key. He'll take it in. The jumper is no good, but the follow by Tavon Judson. And that gives St. Patrick's a 28-22 lead. And back the other way, we have a foul on St. Patrick's.
I think that one's going to go on Kevin Pleasant.
All right.
See McMillan take a seat on the bench now. Darrell Claps back onto the floor. He'll be matched up in the man-to-man probably against Holloway.
Oh, and Piscataway having trouble with the press. That little break there to get across. Here's Bailey in the lane. The pull-up jumper good. That's his 4th point.
Yeah, Justin's off to a little bit of a slow start. They need him to be aggressive and try to do his things on the offensive end because he can score.
Oh, the crossover by Holloway and the buck. No, he didn't get to go. A little pretentious there on my part.
It's pretty nice anyway.
Excuse me. There's the anticipation, Steve. And here's Gilmore.
You know, Mark, I've been trying to think of a player on the collegiate level who kind of reminds me of Holloway. And although Damon Stoudemire is a lefty, they do have a lot of similarities in their game because they're both ultra quick, and you can see Holloway is already, you know, he's pretty well built. He's not a skinny guy. I mean, he's got good size, and both of those guys can, you know, as Stoudemire can, Holloway can nail the outside jumper. So he's very similar, and you know, Damon Stoudemire's had a pretty good career and probably projects as a top 10 pick in the NBA draft.
And a look inside Holloway. They get in. The follow that time was by Tavon Judson. And it is 30-24 St. Patrick's. We come up on 3 minutes. Here's Claps with the 3. Darrell Claps, he hits his second 3. He has 6. And it brings Piscataway within 3. 30-27, St. Patrick's on top. Claps right on Holloway's tail.
St. Pat's going a little bit deeper on the bench as they bring in Malik Hoskins, and he's got the ball right now.
And as you said, Malik, the jumper, he didn't get to go. A little cold off the bench. Ahead, here's Gilmore. It is tapped away by Kevin Pleasant. And it will be Piscataway ball. Kevin stepped on the line.
That's not what St. Patrick's coach Kevin Boyd wants out of Hoskins. Come off the bench, you know, give our starters a blow, play some good defense, go in and rebound, bang a little bit, but, you know, 15-foot jumper off the dribble. Not smart. And
Bailey the 3 in and out. And Hoskins cannot come down with the rebound. So it misses the jumper on one end. Can get the rebound, and he might get a departure. He's actually looking towards the bench as if he was coming out of the game, but Kevin Boyle decides to keep him in there. Claps. Faked the jumper, lost it. And it was knocked out of a by a St. Patrick's player. Chiefs will keep it. Celestand looking to back down, hits the three, pulls a three, and hits the three. And that is his second three-pointer. He has 10.
Well, this is by far the best I've seen John Selestand look this season. As I said, he struggled with his health all year. He's finally getting healthy.
And the back tap from Pleasant to Tavon Judson for the two. And it's 32-30 St. Patrick's. Here's Bailey double team. The kick out, Celestand wide open three. No good. McMillan with the rebound. Put it back up and in. Devon McMillan, he has 6, and we are once again tied at our 5th. We have 1:20 remaining. And Holloway right back at him, in and out with the three.
It's the first miss of the game from three-point territory.
And a look ahead, great pass from Celestand and McMillan. And he is clobbered by Mike Hoskins, and he will go to the line.
Good strong move, though, by McMillan. Took it right at the bigger player, drew the foul, and see if he can do a little better job on the free throw line than he did his last trip.
You get the feeling we might be going down to the final second in this game.
Yeah, this really does project as a game that's going to go down to the final minutes. And oddly enough, even though St. Patrick's has been ranked in the top 6 or 7 the entire year, and their record is 12-4, just about every game they play, aside from 3 or 4 games that they blew out opponents, it goes down to the last minute. So they're used to this situation.
And Devon McMillan now 0 for 4 at the free throw line. And right back the other way is Winston Smith on transition. And that right there is just not good defense, as Piscataway forces another, rather gives the ball up one more time. Smith, major travel right there. Everybody in the house saw that one. And Piscataway will keep it. But that right there on the Chiefs ball, that is not good transition defense. Got to get back.
No, there's no doubt St. Patrick's, once they get running, that's when you can get in trouble, because they are awesome on the break. Especially when Holloway has the ball in his hands, because he always makes good decisions.
And we are down to 43 seconds here in the first half. This is McMillan, little fake and shake. Inside, good pass from Claps, and the bucket cannot go for Mastriano. And the putback by McMillan, though.
That was a great pass, though, by Claps. And he started it all by breaking down the defense with the pass, and then you have a mismatch inside where Bailey can take advantage.
And Holloway with the move once again, but he is fouled.
Nice little spin. And the thing is, he's always spinning under control. You never see him spin and throw the ball away, or spin and throw up a crazy shot. When he spins, he can finish, or he can find an open man. And that's the difference between him and just a normal Division I guard. He is just unbelievable. As is John Selestand. John Selestand is one of the most adept players with the ball that you're going to find in the state.
Shaheen will go to the line for the first time this evening. First shot is up, and it is good. Substitution for Piscataway. This is Greg Gilmore checking in. And number 25, Devon McMillan, he'll sit down. He has 8 points on the evening.
Did you see the trend that Shob is setting? Playing 9 or 10 players, going deep on his bench, making sure he has everyone fresh for the end of the game, and hoping that St. Patrick's will wear down.
And Holloway makes both free throws. 36-34. St. Patrick, we are down to 12 seconds before the half. And Celestand lost it. Ahead is Pleasant. The back pass for Nickerson, and he lays it in. And we down to now 2 seconds before the half. And we'll try to see the call. We have a technical foul being assessed, I believe, to Paul Show. We'll have to check that.
Being one of the St. Patrick's players for talking after that basket.
Okay, taunting Technical foul. And not a smart play right there, as Justin Bailey will shoot the tee. Hits the first. His 5th point.
We'll have to find out who that technical is on, because of course it is a personal as well.
And the second shot is good. 6 points for Justin Bailey. Chiefs within 2, and they can tie it. There are 2 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And the inbound goes to Celestand. Holloway gets it off. Almost got it to go. And that is the half. Shaheen Holloway, he leads all scores with 15 points. And the high man for Piscataway, John Selestand, he has 10. And that's where we are at the half. St. Patrick's 38, Piscataway 36. Stay tuned for the second half action.
Foul, number 14, White.
Foul? I ain't committing foul.
Oh, yeah, you did. You littered.
Oh, man! Oh, my God. It's just a little cup.
Yeah, it's a little cup or a soda can, but it's all litter and it all adds up.
I understand. Hey, Piscataway, when you're finished with your trash, slam dunk it.
I'm the extremely clean teen. A litterer's worst nightmare.
And welcome back to Piscataway High School. Mark Prelo and Steve Cofield with you. And we are at the half, about to start quarter number 3. And your score, it is St. Patrick's 38, Piscataway 36. High man for both squads is Shaheen Holloway. Who else? He has 15 points. Oh, check that. I'm getting corrected right here.
He's got 13.
All right. 13 for Holloway, including 3 3-pointers.
The rest of the scoring, Winston Smith for Piscataway, or for St. Patrick's with 6. 6 for Tavon Judson. 5 for Kevin Pleasant. 2 for Radee Benson. And 2 for Nickerson. And I will correct myself. You're right. Holloway does have 15 points.
All right.
And actually, Winston Smith with 8. On the Chiefs for Piscataway, Celestand leading the way with 10 points. Bailey has 8. Delvon McMillan with 6. Darrell Claps with 6. 2 points for Kevin Mandel, 2 points for Greg Gilmore, and 2 points for Rocco Patriciano.
All right, it has been a very entertaining affair, fair to say the least, in half number 1. And I would assume it should be a very entertaining half here in half number 2. We had 5 ties, only 3 lead changes. And in this half, it will be St. Patrick's starting out. They'll have the ball moving right to left on your television set. And here we go. Same starting 5 for both squads.
Kevin Mandel back on the floor for Piscataway.
And that is Benson, Judson rather. Start off the half. And St. Patrick's by 4. And as we see, Steve, no full-court pressure start off here in the second half for St. Patrick's. 3-pointer air ball by Bailey. McMillan gets it back. He'll set up for Gilmore, and here is Celestand at the key. He holds the double team now, and we have a foul on number 4, Corbett Nickerson. That is his 3rd.
See, and that's where that technical foul that he picked up at the end of the first half with just 2 seconds left becomes costly. Because as we said, depth not really the strength of St. Patrick's, and if they lose Nickerson, they go to Benson off the bench, which he is a great player to come off the bench, but after that, really not a lot of depth on that bench.
And McMillan to trigger in. He'll go to Bailey. Holloway right there for him. Gets a screen from Gilmore. Working around, almost stolen that time by Pleasant. Here is Celestand on the jumper, short. And is saved, and here is Kevin Mandel for the follow. As Justin Bailey that time saved it from going out of bounds. And it's 40-38, St. Patrick's. And a move on Bailey. That is Tavon Judson putting the move. Little head fake.
Judson's an excellent player. He's around 6'3", just an outstanding athlete. A senior who will undoubtedly be playing on the collegiate level somewhere. Another one of those guys who has an awful lot of potential and probably is going to get better and turn into a true guard when he gets to college.
And he is way short, though, on that first free throw.
He can hit the occasional three. Not his strong suit. More of a leaper inside and keeps the ball alive inside.
Missed both of them. Well, I guess that's something he'll have to work on the college level, free throws. And Selestand trying to put the moves on Smith. He'll give it up for Bailey. He lost it. And ahead it goes. Holloway for Judson. Crowd wanted to travel, but it will go for two. And back the other way, we have a foul on St. Patrick's. Tavon Judson getting back after the basket.
You saw on the other end that turnover caused by the tough defense played by Winston Smith. Smith 6'5½", and as we were speaking earlier, junior, big-time recruit. Rutgers, Seton Hall looking at him as a potential player down the road. As I said, only a junior, but has good size and has the skills of a guard, can play both forward and guard. And you see him at 6'5", covering the 6'2½", 6'3", John Selestand, and not too many people bigger than Celestand can cover Celestand.
And a free throw by McMillan.
McMillan 0 for 5 now in the game.
0 for 5 is right.
Surprising because he really is a good shooter.
And the second one, he finally hits one. And 1 for 6 at the line, his first point of the half. As we see Piscataway, a little pressure right there. They are down by 3. And we have 6:22 remaining here in the third quarter. And the feature matchup right here, Holloway and Celestand. Oh, what a cut right there. Benson had Celestand in the move right here by Judson. Layup no good, and the follow by Shaheen Holloway.
Little man not supposed to be able to do that, but somehow he found himself inside and found a little crease and got the shot up.
And a little wrestling activity the other way, as Greg Gilmore having trouble with it. And St. Patrick's gets it right back. Piscataway apparently like they're not ready on the defensive end. Holloway, a little move between the legs.
See, Celestand knows he has to get up a little bit closer to Holloway because he can't let those jumpers come off.
Winston trying to set the screen. Did not work, and here's Holloway again with it. Having trouble. Fakes in the lane. What a pass he had, and he put it in. Tavon Judson, what a pass by Shaheen Holloway.
See the flow of the game starting to work towards St. Patrick's. St. Patrick's playing excellent man-to-man defense. Piscataway not getting an awful lot out of their motion offense at this point.
And here's McMillan trying to put a move on. Mandel had the jumper, passed it up. Bailey in the corner, he'll take it in, and they're calling this a block. And Radee Benson looking in disbelief, as he thought he had drawn the charge. Nonetheless, though, St. Patrick's now starting to hold a decent lead here, 46-39. As Piscataway has not been able to get going here in this first couple of minutes here in the third quarter. Celestand fakes the three, now pulls up from the free throw line and got it to go. And St. Patrick's would like to talk this one over. As we see Steve Piscataway having trouble on their offensive end. They, most of the points in the first half by way of transition. And we see the difficulty Piscataway has in trying to get a set play on their half-court offense.
Yeah, the half-court set, St. Patrick's half-court defense, their man-to-man defense has been outstanding. And the problem is when you have Mandel on the floor, when you have McMillan on the floor, as well as Gilmore, you have three players who really are not players who can do anything off the dribble. McMillan is more of a standstill shooter. And you saw when Piscataway got off to a little bit of a slow start, when Claps came in, that kind of made a difference because that's a third guy now who can break his man down with the dribble, and maybe Claps needs to get back onto the floor pretty soon. I would expect him to re-enter for the Chiefs pretty soon.
Well, I'm not going to be bold enough to say that Claps put Holloway in check, but he became pretty close to it.
He did a good job. He got up in his face and didn't allow him to stick those long three-pointers anymore.
All right, and here is Holloway. Still that feature matchup. Celestand and Holloway still on each other. And another, almost turnover that time. Yes, they did turn over. Check that. St. Patrick's will keep it. And they're working around to Holloway inside for Smith off the glass. So St. Patrick's very effective in their half-court set. Selestand thought about the three. Goes between the legs, trying to work on Smith, nothing doing.
So just excellent defense by Winston Smith. Will not let Celestand beat him.
And here is Celestand, gets open for the three at the left of the key, got to go. His first three of the half. Fifth point of the half for Celestand. He has 15. Holloway having trouble with it. Stolen away by Mendel. Celestand to McMillan, trying to go for the jam. Missed it, went too hard, and here comes St. Patrick's. They lost the ball. And both teams want fouls called, nothing doing, and Celestand now having trouble with it. Benson the steal. Got it to Judson, and he traveled.
I'll tell you, the difference between St. Patrick's this year and last year, I spoke last year that St. Patrick's I thought was the best team I saw the entire season, even though they lost in the sections and parochial beat North. I thought they were the best team I had seen the entire year. But this year it's just a different team, although they're winning the game right now. If Benson cannot get himself back down in shape, he's just a different player, and he makes his team a completely different team.
And Harris Mandel, the basket will not count, however, as they're going to call that one on the floor on Kevin Pleasant. And that is his second personal foul.
And you see Benson taking a seat on the bench and trying to catch his breath, but he's really lacking the conditioning right now that he had last year.
Claps looking inside. He finds Gilmore, stripped away, and it's out of bounds at Wool State Piscataway ball. We have 3:44, folks, remaining in this basketball game. Piscataway trailing St. Patrick's 48-43. And we are in quarter number 3. As the ref setting things straight here, telling the fellas
someone's bleeding, and they're trying to find who it is because they see some blood, I guess, on a uniform of Tavon Judson, or actually Kevin Pleasant.
Nobody wants to fess up, I guess. All right. I'll tell you, with those black uniforms,
you never see it.
Never. That's exactly right. And the no-look pass inside. Claps goes to Bailey for the 2. Good pass by Darrell Claps. Piscataway within 3. Here's Holloway with the spin and no go.
See, but even with the spin, Claps was right there. It took Claps a half a step to recover, and he was right on him and made the shot tough.
And a little spin himself by Bailey with the jumper. He got it to go. His 6th point of the half. Piscataway within 1. 48-47.
Justin Bailey, he does it quietly, but I tell you, he comes up and he has the nice numbers at the end of the game, makes big baskets.
And Holloway that time faked the 3. They're going to call a blocking foul on Darrell Claps. And the crowd, as you can hear, does not care for the call. And Holloway, I guess he wanted the free throws as well. Ref says it was on the floor. This is Judson, and he traveled. Yep. Moved the pivot foot before he had it. After he had it, I should say.
See St. Pat's getting a little sloppy. That's their 8th turnover of the game. Piscataway has turned it over 13 times. And the difference in that second quarter, where they built up a little bit of a lead, St. Patrick's did, was not turning the ball over at all.
And here's Bailey trying to go 1-on-4. We saw him do that in our last broadcast. I guess the Chiefs trying to go for the transition hoop, however. And Claps the inbound to Celestand. See if the Chiefs can be effective in their half-court set here. They work it around. This is Bailey. Out for Claps. Looks like they're trying to look for Celestand on this set. Trying to work the shot. Celestand. Smith right there for him. Little shake and fake. Goes between the legs. Makes the move. Jumper. And got it to go. And John Selestand gives Piscataway the first lead of the half. 49-48. Here's a steal by Bailey. The bounce for Celestand with the jam. And this place is going nuts. The Chiefs by 3, 51-48. 2:19 remaining here in the third quarter.
You see Piscataway doesn't like to run all the time. They're not looking for it, but when it's there, they're going to take advantage of it. You saw the quick pass right through the eye of the needle. Goes up for the jam. Good finish by Celestand.
And the crowd enjoying it, Cofield.
I'll tell you, Celestand really brings up his level when he plays against this kind of competition, because honestly, John Selestand was really an unknown entity last year going into the state tournament, and he made his name during that state tournament. He was unbelievable throughout the state tournament, had a great Group 4 final, and against Teaneck, and then went on to have a very good game against Patterson Catholic. You can see he loves playing against good competition, and hey, right here he's going against a great point guard in Shaheen Holloway. They haven't been matched up head-to-head the entire game. They've only been matched up at times, but you can see both players have not disappointed at all. They have shown the crowd their best moves, and they both had great games.
And the crowd starting to get into this one. Celestand, he has now 19 points. He leads all scorers.
Big 8 points in this quarter.
And Shaheen Holloway only 1 bucket in the second half. And this is Holloway right there. Claps for him. And the turnover.
And that's number 5 of the quarter. In just about 6 minutes. So St. Patrick's kind of losing it a bit here, although they're only trailing by 3.
And Piscataway trying to build on his 3-point lead. We have 1:56 remaining here in the third quarter. Celestand with the moves, and we have a whistle. They're going to call it on Winston Smith.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's a questionable call.
Not much of a reward for playing good defense. I think Celestand kind of spun himself to the floor. Smith is using the hands a bit to kind of corral Celestand, but he plays great defense. And that's got to be attractive to a college recruiter. Or coaches, because a guy like this, they can play offense on the high school level, but when you get a guy who can play defense already, that's just an added bonus.
We have a substitution for St. Patrick's. Corbett Nickerson inside. Corbett Nickerson checking in for Malik Hoskins as we see Piscataway throw it away.
They see Mandel trying to dribble inside, trying to get himself from underneath the glass. It was a tough pass, and he dribbled it off his foot.
And here is Smith. Gilmore right there for him. Tries to cross over. Finds Pleasant inside. And he puts it in. St. Patrick's within 1. 51-50. Celestand, a long 3. No good. And the outlet for Judson. Holloway, the dish back to Judson. Puts the layup, no good. Mandel with the rebound.
Hey, Mandel's doing a good job. He's grabbed some big rebounds this quarter.
Celestand inside, stripped by Holloway, and I tell you what.
Well, they're going to call the foul on the block.
I tell you what, Piscataway is enjoying a little home cooking here. As looks like that was all ball, Steve.
Yeah, I think they called it on Winston Smith on the block in the direction that Celestand was moving. The strip by Holloway was clean.
There's the inbound of Bailey. He'll set it out. We are down to 50 seconds here in quarter number 3. 51-50. Piscataway on top of St. Patrick's. The number 16 Piscataway in the state. And St. Patrick's number 7. Trying to go inside for Celestand as he tries to post up Theo Tarto. And we have another foul on St. Patrick's.
So this really should show people that there are 7 or 8 just super teams in New Jersey. When you're talking about a team here in St. Patrick's that has gone all over the country and ripped a lot of great national level teams, and now they're playing in their home state against a team that is not even in the top 5 by most polls in Piscataway. Not to say that they don't deserve to be. Piscataway's giving him a game. And this just shows great depth in New Jersey basketball.
Absolutely. As these two teams strutting their stuff here this evening. First free throw by Bailey is good. His 7th point of the half. got it to go again. Justin Bailey has 15. It is 53-50 Piscataway. We're down to 30 seconds and a half. Holloway, the three, no good. And Bailey with the rebound. He's double teamed.
It was a big rebound by Bailey. You see Tardo was right under the ball, and Bailey was able to leap over him. Tardo only goes about 5'8". Bailey was able to go over his back without touching him and grab the rebound. No chance for a second chance there. And that's been a big part of taking this lead here. Piscataway's done a good job of keeping St. Patrick's off the offensive glass.
And it's the Piscataway defense. They have kept Shaheen Holloway quiet in the second half. He only has one bucket. This is Theo Tardo right there for Celestand. Little shake and bake. Trying to put on the moves. He goes in the corner for Bailey. Guts off the three. Got it. And that is the half, rather the quarter. Justin Bailey finish off the quarter with the three-pointer. He now has 18 points on the evening. 10 of those coming here in quarter number 3. It is 56-50 Piscataway on top of St. Patrick's.
That was a great quarter for Piscataway. Outscored St. Patrick's 20-12. Played excellent defense, and as I said, no second chance shots. Excellent job of rebounding inside. Smart move by Paul Shobe to rest Kevin Mandel for a good part of the first half. He only had one foul, but I guess he was saving him down the stretch, and Mandel's gone out. He grabbed 3 rebounds that quarter.
And we have seen a very, very entertaining game this evening. Hope you folks at home are enjoying it. And we'd just like to remind you that this entertaining game, tonight's production of Piscataway High School basketball, has been provided by sponsorship from McDonald's of Piscataway. The address 1301 Stelton Avenue in Piscataway. And we would certainly like to thank them very much for allowing us to bring this game to you this evening.
And as I alluded to earlier, Mark, this really is just the beginning of a great week of basketball. You have the primetime shootout. St. Peter's involved in that. During the week, they play on Wednesday and Friday. You have a tournament down the Battle by the Bay in Atlantic City. Elizabeth is down there, Atlantic City, Pleasantville, all teams in the top 15 in the state.
As we start quarter number 4, Piscataway with it. And Kevin Mandel. Rather, check that. That was a Rocco Matriciano. Rocco, rather. His second bucket. He has 4. And Piscataway with their biggest lead of 8, 58-50. Holloway rejected by Claps. And here's Tardo to check it out. He gets it over for the 3 for Judson.
See, Judson's got the nice stroke from the perimeter.
That is his first 3, rather his second 3. Now check that, his first 3 of the game. Celestand with the 3, in and out. And the rebound rejected. That was Matriciano once again. Winston Smith saying no thank you. Well, Piscataway will keep it. 7:04 here in the fourth quarter. It is 58-53 Piscataway. Chase with that 3-guard lineup. Celestand, and here is Celestand with the jumper, no good. As that time they set a play. Holloway trying to look inside for Tarto, who was underneath. Knocked out of bounds by a chief player. And here is Holloway on the baseline, and they're going to call this one a charge. And Shaheen Holloway, he has been shut down here in his second half. Only 2 points. Celestand calling out number 1. Let's see what it is. Good pass inside from Bailey to Gilmore. As Greg Gilmore gets his first bucket of the half.
That really was a great pass because Bailey was going to throw outside. Defender slid over to block the passing lane. He saw Gilmore inside for the layup.
And with the layup right here is Kevin Pleasant. Rather, check that. Quabir Nickerson with the bucket. had his 7th point of the evening. 60-55 Piscataway, and a steal by Holloway with the steal, and they're going to call that one a foul. I tell you what.
That's a big foul. That's his 4th foul now.
I tell you what. I tell you, John Selestand certainly getting the respect here this evening from the officials.
You see the referee talking to the scorekeeper a bit. Scorekeeper questioning the call. Not really your role as a scorekeeper. I know St. Patrick's scorekeeper wants his team to win, but you can't say what is that. What it is a foul on Shaheen Holloway, son. Right in the book.
All right.
Maybe that's what the ref said.
And Celestand hits the free throw. He now has 20 points. He leads all scores. It is 61-55 Piscataway. We have 5:59 remaining here in the game. He makes the second again. It is 62-55 Chiefs. And St. Patrick's with their
see the clear out.
Backs against the wall. Holloway, the spin, the bucket, no basket. As they're going to call this one before the shot. And Kevin Boyle can't believe it.
That's still a great job at defense. That spin move had been killing Piscataway the entire first half, and Claps has stayed right with Holloway on that move.
Here is Smith having trouble with it, and this time they do call the foul on the Chiefs.
Just got to wonder how you make a hit on the arm call when you're behind the play. Sorry, the coach is coming out at me.
Smith off the inbound, gets it to go off the glass. And right back at his Piscataway. Here is Gilmore in the corner. Having trouble with it. Tries to look for Celestand. It is tapped away by Theo Tarto, and the Chiefs will keep it.
See Kevin Mandel coming back into the game for Greg Gilmore. Gilmore has done exactly what his coaching staff wants from him.
And a give and go. Here is John Selestand from Kevin Mandel. And he just adds to his point total. 23 points for John Selestand. 64-57 Chiefs. And here's Tardo looking for Holloway. The reverse layup got it to go. That's only his 2nd bucket of the half. And Shaheen Holloway now with 19 overall. And his team down by 5. We come up on 5 minutes. Celestand looked like he might have taken a little hop. They try to run the give and go again. Deflected. And a jam at top by Matriciano. Oh, my.
Where did that come from?
Woo!
This guy's hardly played this year, and he's jamming a big rebound in the 4th quarter.
And here come the Chiefs. The crossover by Bailey. Crosses over again. Jumper got it. Oh, my. And Kevin Boyle wants a TO. As this place is going wild.
What was that?
My.
I'll tell you, Rocco has been playing sparingly the entire season. He's gotten a little more playing time because of his aggressiveness inside over the last 7 or 8 games. And he goes up and times it perfectly and jams home the putback. Nothing to get the crowd in. Nothing better to get the crowd into the game than that.
Well, the Piscataway fans certainly they've had their quite a few things to cheer about this evening.
I'll tell you, 9-point lead with 4.5 minutes left. This is the number 16 team in the country in St. Patrick's. I know it's on the home floor, but this is sending a message for Piscataway. Anyone who thinks that Piscataway is a depleted team off of last year's squad and won't be able to compete with the Group 4 powers in South Jersey like Shawnee, #1 ranked team in the state, or Atlantic City or Camden, guess what? It's a news bulletin. They're going to be in a game with any of those teams. If Shawnee plays Piscataway, they're going to have their hands full.
As St. Patrick's will try to regather themselves, they find themselves now down by 9, 68-59. Off the Matriciano dunk and the Justin Bailey jumper. Here's Holloway. working on Bailey. Draws the foul. And he will go to the line. I guess if Holloway keeps doing those spin moves and keeps drawing the foul, that may be one way for him to get back into the scoring mode and for his team to get back into this ball game.
Oh, he's going to get to the line. He's a good free throw shooter. He's going to score his points either way.
As we saw in that third quarter, he was shooting more of the three-pointers, wasn't really trying to look inside as he hits both free throws.
See, a turnover right there from Piscataway, and that's a key turnover. Rocco tried to get the ball too quickly to Celestand, and goes back to St. Patrick's now.
And here is Judson outside. Over to Smith, trying to cross over on Matriciano and puts it in. Looked like that was a offensive interference. No call, and here come the Chiefs away with it. Celestand. One-hand push is picked off by Holloway, and here is Judson inside. A layup got it to go. As that ball suspended on the rim for about a couple of seconds. It is six.
I was going to say, this game's certainly not over. As I said, St. Patrick's has been in this situation loads of times.
And another steal, Holloway with it. Lays it in. 68-65. St. Patrick's within 3. And Paul Scholl wants to talk it over now.
Quick run right there is some of that trapping at half court. It's not really organized, the trapping that St. Patrick's does. They just do it right out of the man-to-man if they see an opportunity. Someone will come over and they'll get the quick trap, and it works an awful lot. It hasn't worked too much tonight against Piscataway. Piscataway's done most of their turnovers, or committed most of their turnovers in the half-court set. But when the opportunity's there, St. Patrick's going to pounce on you, and if you're not careful, you don't handle the ball correctly, they're going the other way, and you see a 3-on-1 right there where Holloway finishes.
Well, as we see Piscataway, they do well with their transition game with the Mandel dunk. I tell you though, you look at Matriciano, but St. Patrick's now, they 338. What's the strategy for Kevin Boyle right here with their team struggling offensively yet getting their points only on turnovers?
Well, you can see that right now that the strategy they're employing is to clear out for Holloway. They're going to let him try to do something with the ball. If he beats his man, if Piscataway tries to help out, then he's going to find the open man underneath. I mean, he's the guy you want to have the ball, and he's going to do a lot of damage. And Piscataway's just going to have to try to contain him, and then you can see Claps is playing a lot of minutes now. He didn't play early on in this beginning of the second half.
As Celestand tried to find Mandel inside, it goes off the glass, and back the other way for the jumper is Nickerson. He didn't go. Smith with the follow, good, and the foul. And Winston Smith will go up to the line and try to convert on the three-point play. And he'll try to tie it. It is 68-67. Piscataway on top. And 17 points on the evening for Winston Smith. He'll try to make it 18.
Good aggressive inside play by Smith. You can see he can go inside and outside.
And the free throw is good. We are tied at 68, our sixth tie of the game. 3:10 remaining here in the fourth. St. Patrick's and Piscataway, the number 6 and 7 teams in the state. Here is Claps. And a whistle on Shaheen Holloway. That is, check that. Let's see what they call it on.
I think it's on Nickerson. We'll see. It isn't.
They are going to call this.
No, that's on Nickerson.
Okay, crowd getting excited.
But that is his fourth, too. So, as I said, that foul trouble could definitely become a factor. Now you have the final 3 minutes. You have a tie game. Your best player's got 4. One of your starters, and Nickerson, has 4 now. And see, Benson's been on the bench for an awful long time.
And they're checking this out. I'm not so sure, Steve. They might.
I think they called that. I thought they called it on Nickerson.
I didn't see him in the vicinity. No, we'll check and see what the refs say. Straighten this out.
No, Nickerson does have 5.
Oh.
See, and that's.
So That is it for...
See, and that's where that technical, he picks it up with 2 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah.
Where it comes back to haunt you. That's why, you know, you're better off just keeping your mouth closed. Instead of talking trash, you got a problem on the court, you know, go over to the ref afterwards, after the play is stopped.
And Kwabir Nickerson, as you say, that is his 5th.
See, now you see Benson coming on the floor, and how amazing is this that you have a Division I player, has been sitting on the bench most of the game, and he's going to be heading to Old Dominion next year, and now he comes in as a substitute. So a nice substitute to have.
Very, very nice. The Division I 6th man.
See, Benson's got to have, he's got to be lacking confidence at this point. He hasn't played an awful lot this year. This guy was the 2nd best player on his team last year, and he's just struggled with that weight.
And Jarrell Claps hits the free throw. His first point of the half, he has 7, 69-68. Piscataway on top. We have 3:03 remaining. Second shot on the way, good again.
So Jarrell Claps has had an excellent game, and he's only got 8 points, but I mean the defense that he's played against Shaheen Holloway has just been the difference in Piscataway getting out to that lead and then holding this 2-point lead.
And here is Holloway, who have to be careful. Pulls up for the 3, got it to go. Holloway with the 3, and St. Patrick's back on top, 71-70. We're down to 2:35. Here's Bailey. Mendel,
wide
double
open
team.
underneath.
Here's Claps inside, the touch pass. Mendel to Matt Trasiano.
He's had a great game as well. Rocco with 8 points now, 3 rebounds, and season high.
There is Judson, and we have a whistle.
Be on foul on Celestand, Mark.
And I believe that is John's 2nd personal foul.
Be in the 1-and-1. So Judson, who missed a couple free throws early on in the game, wasn't really close on either one, and now he goes back to the line.
So Tavon Judson at the line. He is 0 for 2 at the line in the half, make it 0 for 3. And his team trails by 1, 72-71. As we come up on 2 minutes remaining in this game. There's Selestand to bring it up. Bailey now back to Celestand. Smith right there for him. Tavon Judson coming out on Bailey.
See, and there's a jump trap right there.
And Selestand will try to look for his man. There he is, Bailey. And the double team again.
One of the big men is open.
Clap,
He's
and
got to move
cross
the ball.
court for Celestand. And he's trying to find the open man again. Claps, take it baseline. Rejected by Benson. And here's the alley-oop. Holloway for Smith. No call on that. My goodness.
All right.
No call. Smith got knocked in the jaw.
I was going to say, it looked like Smith jerked the other way suddenly. Maybe that's some kind of move he's got. I think he got slammed in the shoulder, though.
So Chiefs with another break on that one. As we are down to 1:15. Here is Holloway with the moves. Takes it in. And he threw up the air ball. Here is Bailey. As we come up on 1:05 remaining. Winston Smith almost with the steal. Celestand cross court to Bailey. We're down to less than a minute. And this is Benson coming out on Bailey. The steal by Holloway. And he lays it in. 73-72. St. Patrick's with the lead. A 7th lead change. As we are down to 42 seconds. St. Patrick's by 1, and Piscataway wants to talk it over. What a ball game.
Piscataway just not taking care of the ball. In both of those trips down the floor, Claps made a good move on their trip before that to get inside, but just tough to finish against a 6'5" Brady Benson. Benson blocked him, and then that play, Bailey just not anticipating or just not seeing Holloway out of the corner of his eye. Can't let that happen in a big game. Holloway comes up with the big steal.
Yes, turnovers has certainly played a major part in this game, Steve. We saw Piscataway get back into it early in the quarter. Rather in the third quarter, latter half of the third. They had built the lead up to 8. Then St. Patrick's gets a couple of turnovers. They get the lead back. And that is where we stand, 73-72.
Piscataway had that 68-59 lead, and then a 9-0 run tied it by St. Patrick's. Piscataway just lost a little bit of their aggressiveness, not finding the open man against that pressing defense, and it's what can get you in trouble against St. Patrick's. If you hold the ball, you don't make quick passes, then you're going to get caught in those traps, and you're going to make mistakes.
And after only scoring 2 points in the third quarter, Shaheen Holloway, he has now 11 points in the half. He's scored 8 points.
Just get the ball in the hands of John Selestand and let him do something with it.
And Celestand says clearing out. Smith right on him. Bailey, we're down to 30 seconds.
See if they try to go to Celestand again.
There he is. Smith right there for him. Bailey shoots the three. Got it! Bailey with the three. His second three and a half. We're down at 16 seconds. 75-73 Piscataway.
Justin Bailey is a money player, but right here you have one of the best money players in the country.
And here's the crossover. No good. Piscataway comes down with it. We're down to 2. We're down to 1, and that is it. Piscataway with the win, 75-73. As we said, this thing came down to the wire, Steve.
And you see St. Patrick's tried to get the ball in the hands of Holloway. Holloway forced it a bit. Celestand came from the weak side, blocked him, and then the ball scored it out of the pack. Celestand came up with it, passed it off, and big shot by Justin Bailey. Bailey has been doing it all year long. He's the kind of plays second fiddle on this team, but he's a great player. Don't ever forget that. That's why the man's a Division I player. And he hit the big three. Wasn't scared to take it. A lot of time left. He went up and he nailed the three. Big jumper.
Looks like Shaheen might have wanted to draw contact on that play, but you know,
no call,
no foul.
You're in an opposing gym, and that's going to happen sometimes. You didn't get the call.
Well, it has been a great game, and the high man for Piscataway, John Selestand, 23 points. Shaheen Holloway, 26 for St. Patrick's. And Steve, why don't you run down the rest of the totals for us?
Yeah, Winston Smith for St. Patrick's wound up with 15 points. Tavon Judson had 17 points to finish second for St. Patrick's. You had Nickerson with 4. You had Kevin Pleasant finish up with 7 and 2 points for Rudy Benson, and that's a big factor. Benson, a guy who averaged 16 points a game last year, and he comes in, he scores 2 points. Probably didn't play half the game in terms of minutes. As you said, Celestand led the way, but Bailey with a great game as well. Bailey finishes up with 22 points. McMillan with a solid game with 7. Matriciano coming off the bench with 8 points. That was a big factor. Claps with 8 as well. Gilmore with 4 and Mandel with 4. So it's the balance you see for Piscataway, and that was a big advantage. Piscataway got an awful lot out of their bench. Rocco came off the bench, 6'6", did a good job, inspired the crowd, started a big run with the jam on the putback, and that was a big basket. Claps also with the defensive job on Holloway. So as much as Bailey and Celestand kind of are the shining stars, you know, out in the spotlight because they had the big point totals, it's the big man, Matriciano, and also Darrell Claps, who did the little things and the dirty work to push Piscataway to the win.
And of course, that third quarter was key for Piscataway. Justin Bailey, he had, I believe it was 8 or 9 points in that third quarter alone when Celestand wasn't exactly hot. I think that was a big key as well. And of course, who can forget the Rocco dunk at the end? It got the whole crowd going, and then Bailey with the jumper to end the third quarter, and Piscataway was up by 6. Well, we're not going to keep you folks here any longer. Steve Cofield, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll see you next time, and we'd like to thank once again our sponsor, McDonald's of Piscataway in Stelton Road. That's 1301 Stelton Avenue, and we'd like to thank them for allowing them to get you into our living room, to your living room this evening. And we'd like to thank the rest of the crew. And don't forget, tomorrow evening, Piscataway and St. Joe's right here at Piscataway. For Steve Cofield and the rest of the crew, thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Prelo, and we'll see you tomorrow night.